Have you ever stood in real darkness? Not just a room with the lights off, but a darkness that feels like it's inside you. It's where your dreams become ghosts, haunting you with whispers you can't grasp. This is the place where failure lives, a quiet, lonely room, and you are its only guest. The silence screams all the words you're afraid to hear. You see every mistake, every regret looping endlessly in your mind. The world moves on, but you're frozen, a ghost watching the living. You build walls, thinking it's safer, but it's just a cage. We've all known this darkness, the moment you hit the ground utterly alone. But this is the starting point for every great story. Not the victory, but the fall. And this is where our story begins. Remember childhood dreams? You believed you could do anything, but life had other plans. Disappointment smeared your masterpiece. The world chipped away at that fearless child, leaving a shadow behind. Now you carry the weight of what could have been, haunted by paths not taken. Regret seeps in, making you question every choice. It feels like you've lost a life that only exists in memory. But this isn't the end. This moment of despair is not a tombstone. It's a doorway. The journey back to yourself begins here. The shock fades, replaced by a storm inside your mind. Regret and shame swirl, making every breath heavy. You try to hide it, but the storm finds every crack. At night, it grows louder, feeding on your doubts. You become your own harshest critic, replaying every failure. The cycle of blame and self-loathing feels endless. You surrender, drifting further from who you were. This is the deepest part of the descent, utterly alone with the storm. The silence returns, now filled with whispers of self-doubt. They start quietly, then grow relentless, amplifying every fear. Every setback feels catastrophic, every criticism a fact. You see others' success as proof of your failure. Confidence crumbles. Even simple tasks feel impossible. The echo chamber convinces you that failure is your identity. Dreams die not in flames, but in the suffocating quiet of doubt. The silence is now the sound of surrender. You look to the future and see only a void. The ghost of tomorrow haunts you with visions of more failure. Fear dictates every choice. You avoid risks, people, and opportunities. Life becomes mere survival, not living. You're trapped, waiting for disaster, unable to enjoy peace. This is rock bottom, haunted by the past, tormented by the present, terrified of the future. It feels like the end, a grave. But a grave can also be where a seed is planted. Then something small happens, a crack in your prison walls. Maybe it's a memory, falling as a child but getting back up. You remember you've risen before. This tiny crack lets in a sliver of light, a spark of hope. Perhaps it's a kind word, a song, a story that reminds you you're not alone. You realize you're part of a larger story of struggle and triumph. The darkness remains, but now there's a seed of possibility. It's fragile, but it's there, a crack of light. Sometimes a spark is all you need to start a fire. The spark begins to grow, feeding on these glimmers of light. It starts to awaken something deep inside you, a part of you that has been dormant for a very long time. It's the echo of your own forgotten strength. You begin to remember who you were before the fall, not just the fearless child, but the person who worked hard for that dream, the one who stayed up late studying, the one who practiced for hours, the one who faced challenges and overcame them. You have a history of resilience that you conveniently chose to forget. The echo chamber of doubt drowned it out, but now you can just begin to hear it again. You start to look at your past not as a highlight reel of failures, but as a collection of lessons. Every scar, every mistake, every heartbreak wasn't just a wound, it was a teacher. You survived those moments. You learned from them, even if you didn't realize it at the time. That knowledge is still inside you. That strength is still part of your DNA. It's a quiet power that has been waiting patiently for you to acknowledge it. The storm of regret tried to wash it all away, but the foundation you built through those past struggles was stronger than you thought. It held, it endured. This is when a voice from the past might reach you, not just from your own memories, but from the giants who came before us. You hear the words of Winston Churchill, a man who knew failure intimately, who faced impossible odds. He says, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." The words hit you with the force of truth. They reframe everything. Failure is not a death sentence. Success is not a permanent state. The only thing that truly matters, the only thing that defines you, is the courage to take the next step, to simply continue. That one word, courage, changes the entire narrative. It's not about being fearless. It's not about having all the answers. It's not about guaranteeing you won't fall again. Courage is about feeling the fear, acknowledging the doubt, and moving forward anyway. It's about honoring the pain of your past but refusing to be imprisoned by it. The echo of your forgotten strength joins with the wisdom of the ages, creating a harmony that begins to overpower the whispers of doubt. A new question forms in your mind: do I have the courage to continue? Do I have the courage to continue? It is the moment of choice. One path leads back to the familiar comfort, the other path leads out into the light. It is steep and it is uncertain, but you know it is the only path that leads to growth. You look at your reflection in the mirror again. You search for that fighter you used to know. They are tired, they are wounded, but they are not broken. The world didn't break you. You were letting yourself break. And so you make the choice. You choose courage. It is simply a shift, a conscious decision to take one step. You decide that your story is not over. You will turn your wounds into wisdom. This is the true spark of hope, an internal decision. You reclaim your power. You start being the author of your story. The journey ahead will be the hardest you have ever faced, but you are not afraid. You are ready. The ascent is about to begin. The choice is made, the resolve is set, but the body remembers the fall. The first step is a tremor, a shudder that runs through your entire being. It's the act of lacing up your running shoes when your legs feel like lead. It's opening a book when your mind feels like a fog. It's picking up the phone to make a call you've been dreading. Every fiber of your being screams in protest. The old habits pull at you like gravity, begging you to stay down. This first step is an act of defiance against your own inertia. You move slowly, awkwardly. The sweat on your brow isn't just from exertion. It's the physical manifestation of your fear leaving your body. Each breath is a conscious effort. Inhale courage, exhale doubt. You are retraining your mind, your body, your very soul. You are teaching yourself how to live again. There is no grace in this beginning. It is clumsy, it is messy, it is brutally hard, and it is really the most beautiful thing in the world. You will stumble. The old voices will come rushing back, eager to say, "I told you so." And in those moments, the temptation to quit will be overwhelming. This is the first test. You feel the sting of the setback, but it doesn't paralyze you, because now you have the memory of the choice you made. You have the courage to continue, so you take a deep breath. You wipe the sweat from your face, and you take another step, and then another. You are defined by the act of getting back up. Each step, no matter how small, is a victory. Now the work truly begins. Sunrises seen from a running trail, nights spent in exhausted, deep sleep. The gym becomes a sanctuary, the library becomes a training ground. The mirror becomes a tool for accountability. You are seeking out pain because you have learned the alchemy of pain. You understand that discomfort is the raw material of growth. You see sweat as proof of your commitment. You push yourself past limits you thought were concrete walls. The physical transformation is obvious. The real change is happening somewhere deeper. You are turning your suffering into fuel, your scars into armor. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. You are choosing the pain of discipline over the pain of regret. It is the day in, day out commitment to showing up. You are building character. You are building grit. You are building a version of yourself that the storm cannot break. The battle outside is nothing compared to the war within. As your body gets stronger, your old self gets louder. They fight back. This inner war is the true test. It's a battle for your own mind, and the stakes are everything. Every day you must choose which voice to feed. You have to become a warrior, a guardian at the gates of your own mind. What you must cultivate is discipline. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your accomplishment. Each promise kept is a victory. It strengthens the warrior and weakens the coward. This inner battle is where true strength is forged. You choose to live your own life in the present moment, guided by your own chosen purpose. You are winning the war, one choice, one day at a time. Slowly, a new rhythm begins to emerge. The struggle doesn't stop, but your relationship with it changes. What once felt like a chaotic, violent storm now feels more like the powerful, predictable tide. You learn to work with it, not against it. You learn when to push hard and when to rest and recover. You understand that setbacks are not the end of the road. They are simply detours that teach you a new way. You learn to fall, and you learn that you can get back up faster each time. This is resilience. It's not a single quality, it's a rhythm you learn. It's the dance of adapting, enduring, and growing stronger. The world starts to look different. Dawn breaking over the horizon is no longer just a marker of another day to survive. It's a promise, a daily reminder that light always follows darkness. Running in the rain is no longer a miserable experience to be avoided. It's a baptism, a washing away of the old self. Every drop feels like a blessing, a celebration of your ability to face the storm and keep moving. Climbing a mountain, once a metaphor for an impossible task, becomes a literal journey. Each step upward is a step away from the person you were, and a step toward the person you are becoming. You find a new kind of peace, not in the absence of problems, but in the confidence of your ability to handle them. The quiet is no longer a source of dread, it's a source of strength. You can sit in silence and not be attacked by your own thoughts. You have faced your inner demons, and while they may never be completely gone, they no longer hold power over you. You have learned their names and you know their tricks. You have built an inner sanctum of peace that no external chaos can penetrate. This is the quiet confidence of a survivor who has become a warrior. The ashes of your old life have become the soil for your new one. The fire that burned everything down also purified you. It burned away the non-essential, the false beliefs, the limiting fears. What remains is your core, forged in the flames, stronger and more authentic than ever before. You are not the same person who fell. You are not even the person you were before the fall. You are someone new, someone more. You have risen, not in spite of the fall, but because of it. The journey from the abyss has reshaped you into the hero you were always meant to be. And then, one day, you arrive. It might be a quiet moment of realization. You're standing on the metaphorical summit of that mountain you've been climbing. You look out, and the world that once seemed so terrifying and hostile now looks beautiful and full of possibility. The fog has lifted. The path forward is clear. You made it. You take a deep, clean breath. The air up here is different. It fills your lungs with a sense of accomplishment so profound it almost brings you to your tears. You look down at the valleys and shadows you climbed out of, and you see them not with fear but with a strange sense of gratitude. They see the glory, but they have no idea about the story. But you know the truth. You know that this summit is not just a destination. It's a testament. It's a testament to your resilience, your discipline, your courage. You understand that the view from the top is only so sweet because the climb was so hard. The world celebrates the external win, but you are celebrating something else entirely. You are celebrating a silent victory, a victory that no one else can see. The real triumph wasn't reaching the summit. The real triumph was conquering the mountain inside yourself. It was the moment you chose courage over comfort. The moment you silenced the voice of doubt. The moment you learned to turn your pain into fuel. That was the real battle. That was the real war. And you won. Everything else, this external success, is just a reflection of that internal transformation. It's the proof. It's the receipt. You are not the same person who started this journey. That person is gone. They were burned away in the fire of your training, washed away in the rain of your struggle. You are fundamentally changed. You are wiser. The lessons you learned weren't from a book. They were carved into your soul by experience. You are stronger, not just in your body, but in your spirit. You have a quiet confidence that cannot be shaken by external circumstances because you know that your worth is not tied to your wins or losses, and it is tied to the heart of the warrior you have become. You know who you are now. This is the power of grit. It's the power of your mindset. You realize that the circumstances of your life did not define you. Your response to those circumstances is what defined you. You learned that your mind can be your worst enemy or your greatest ally. You chose to make it an ally. You trained it, disciplined it, and focused it. You understood that what you believe about yourself becomes your reality. You stopped believing you were a failure and you started believing you were a fighter. And so, you became one. This is the greatest power you possess, the power to choose what you believe. The external rewards are nice. The recognition, the success, it feels good. But you know it's temporary, it's fleeting. Success is not final. You remember Churchill's words. The real prize is the person you have become in the process. That is the one thing no one can ever take away from you. This inner strength, this resilience, this peace, that is the permanent trophy. The world sees the victory, but you know the real victory was inside. You found something on that mountain that is far more valuable than the view. You found yourself, your true self. This summit is not an ending. You realize that now. It's a plateau, a base camp for the next, even bigger mountain. The arrival at one destination is simply the starting point for a new journey. The fear of the future, the ghost of tomorrow, is gone. In its place is a sense of excitement and anticipation. You are no longer afraid of the climb. You are not afraid of the struggle. You almost welcome it, because you now know the secret. You know that the struggle is where the growth happens. The challenge is where the magic is. The work is the reward. You look back one last time at the path you traveled. You see the darkness you came from, the ashes you rose from. You feel a sense of compassion for the person you were, lying broken at rock bottom. You want to reach back and tell them that it's going to be okay, that the pain has a purpose, that the journey is worth it. But you realize you don't have to. That person had to walk that path alone to become who you are today. Every ounce of their suffering was necessary. Every tear was a seed. And you honor their struggle by living this new life to the fullest. Your transformation is complete, but your evolution has just begun. You have a new sense of purpose. It's not just about achieving for yourself anymore. It's about sharing the light you have found. It's about showing others the way out of their own darkness. You become a lighthouse, a beacon of hope for those who are still lost in the storm. Your story, the one you were once so ashamed of, has become your greatest asset. It is a map, it is a guide, it is proof that it is possible to rise, proof that failure is not fatal. This is the beautiful paradox of the hero's journey. You had to lose everything to find what was truly important. You had to be broken down to your very core to be rebuilt stronger than ever before. You had to descend into the deepest darkness to discover your own light. This is not the end of your story, this is the end of the beginning. You have arrived, you are transformed, you are ready. You take one last look at the beautiful view, turn your face toward the next peak on the horizon, and take the first step into a new dawn. Are you in the darkness? Are you lying on the ground, wondering if you'll ever have the strength to get back up? You are not alone. Every person you admire has been there. The question is not whether you will fall. You will. The only question that matters is what you do next. You have a choice. You can make it the greatest comeback story ever told. The failure. That is the fuel. Let it build you into the person you were always meant to become. It is your breakthrough, waiting to happen. So get up, right now. Take that first step. The person you will become is worth the fight. Be the hero. Your time is now.